You see, this is why casuals laugh at AEW. It's like, you don't get it. You don't learn from your mistakes. What's up with this roster? Tony Khan is like, it's weird. He signs guys that are similar to him when it comes to their temperament. That's what I've noticed. I mean, is AEW all sensitive, all elite wrestling? It's all elite sensitive wrestling. You got world champions ranting on Twitter about Kane and Booker T. And I'm talking about Adam Page. You got Tony Khan, a billionaire, sensitive as hell, on Twitter, going back and forth with trolls. You are a billionaire. They should be looked at as incels. Why are you going back and forth with incels on your personal Twitter page? It's like, y'all didn't learn y'all lessons that casuals don't respect AEW. It's like, you didn't learn anything from Chris Jericho being fat shamed by NBA fans that used to be fans of his when he was Y2J? Man, I seen what Eddie Kingston said about Disco Inferno. Wow, man. This dude wasn't like this. His contract with AEW has really given him a big head, because he used to be a down-to-earth, humble guy before he got signed. It's like, he is so self-righteous and so almighty now. It's like, dog, the only reason you have a job there is because of Dean Ambrose and Cody Rhodes went to bat for you. That's the only reason you have a job there. Dog, do people remember when they brought in Eddie Kingston? I think he was facing Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship, and he had a good showing against Cody Rhodes. And there was tons of fans that wanted AEW to sign him because he was an indie guy. His match with Cody Rhodes, that was supposed to have been a one-off. Then he was supposed to be sent back to the indies, but fans were begging Tony Khan to sign him. So, dog, you was not this hot commodity. Calm down your ego. Because if it wasn't for AEW, you would still be on the indies. Literally doing nothing. You would still be at nobody on the indies. This is insane. My mind is blown. I can't believe he said this garbage to Disco Inferno. Dog, it says on your Twitter bio, you've been in wrestling for 20 years, right? Okay, maybe you should change your bio to you've been wrestling on the indies for over 20 years. How come your bio doesn't say that? Because that's facts. That's not me talking crap about you. That's facts. You was never in NXT. You was never in the WWF doing anything. Like, I don't get it. This dude was talking to Disco Inferno like he was Hogan talking down to Billy Kidman. Let me say that once again. Eddie Kingston was talking like he was Hulk Hogan, and he was talking down to Billy Kidman, which was Disco Inferno. Like, dog, what have you done in AEW? Nothing. Nothing. All you do is talk a big game. You are a poor man's Bray Wyatt. You talk a big game, but you always lose all your feuds. How come nobody picks up on this? Dog, look, I am a casual, right? But no, when it comes to AEW, dog, Eddie Kingston is a modern day Bray Wyatt. Hell, maybe that's why Bray Wyatt doesn't want to go to AEW. Because they already have a Bray Wyatt, which is Eddie Kingston, a guy who talks a big game, but he always loses. It's like, I can't believe he said this to Disco Inferno. Talking like he was some jobber, nobody respected him in the locker room, blah, 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 blah. Dog, Eddie, if you were in WCW, you would have been a jobber. There's no way in hell Eric Bischoff would have signed you. No way in hell he would have signed you, dog. No way in hell. You would have been a jobber. Okay, let's say Eric Bischoff would have signed you to a contract. Let's just be honest. Chris Jericho got bullied in that locker room. Just imagine what Scott Hall and Kevin Nash would have done to your ass in that locker room. Scott Hall used to pick on Chris Jericho. And Chris Jericho is a way tougher guy than you. Chris Jericho, he ain't sensitive, but you are. Just imagine if Eddie Kingston was in a WCW locker room. Dog, look, man. Scott Norton would have made you his bitch. That's how punkish and sensitive you are. Scott Norton and Hugh Morris, they would have made you their bitch. That's facts. Those guys ran that locker room. And here your ass is. Your ass tried to take a swing at Sammy G just because he talked about your weight in a promo. That means you a mark, dog. You a mark for this shit. You let a kid like Sammy G get into your head. Dog, you a grown ass man. You a grown ass man. You are old enough to be his big brother. You got triggered by a kid in his mid-20s. You in your 40s, dog. You got triggered by a promo from a kid in his mid-20s on TV. He's trying to get over as a heel. He's trying to get heat on himself and you. He's trying to get you over. The job of the heel is to get the babyface over. That's what Sammy G was doing. He was trying to get you over by talking about sensitive subjects, so the crowd can want them to see Sammy G get his ass kicked. That's the job of the heel. You want the audience to want to see you get your ass kicked as a heel. That's what he was doing. You took offense to him talking about your weight. He's a heel. What the hell's going on here? That's how sensitive you are. That's why you've been on the indies bumming it for 20-some years. That's why. When it comes to the WWF, no sensitive marks allowed. Maybe that's why they didn't want you. 20 years on indies, you got some nerve talking crap about Disco Inferno, a guy that was a champion in a big company. He was a TV champion, a cruiserweight champion. He was on a mainstream show, Nitro, WCW. He was in the NWO. It's like, how come people's main go-to when it comes to Disco Inferno is always they want to call him a jobber? It's like, Eddie, you a damn jobber, literally. It's like, bruh, aren't you a jobber? What titles have you won in damn near 2 years in that company? You a damn jobber too. All you do is talk a big game and you always lose. Ask CM junk. You talk all this crap on a microphone, you talk a big game, then you always lose. Wow, man. This Mark said Disco Inferno never put the work in. And he said the only reason they kept him around in WCW was to laugh at him. Like, what? What facts do you have of that? Like, what the hell's going on here? It's like, I don't get it. What work have you put in? Nothing. What have you won in AEW? At least Disco Inferno won some championships when he was on TNT. Let this sink in. When it comes to Disco Inferno, he wrestled on TNT, but guess what? He won some championships on TNT. Where are your championships on TNT and TBS? You see what I'm saying? Like, the hypocrisy is real in AEW. See, all these sensitive marks, maybe that's why y'all got a crazy locker room right now, man. Maybe that's why y'all got a hectic, toxic locker room that Cody Rhodes had to leave. Wow, man. I can't believe a jobber said this about a guy that was a star during the Monday Night Wars in the mid-card. Dog, he was over. Disco Inferno was over. But let's get back to how sensitive this Mark is about with the whole fat shaming crap. I hate when people say, oh, the wrestling business has changed now. You gotta get with times. It's no longer a body business. Okay, maybe that's why the sport is dying. Because it's not a body business anymore. It shouldn't get to a point where you got fans that look better than Adam Coleslaw. It shouldn't get to a point where you got fans in the front row that actually look better than you, Eddie Kingston. It shouldn't get to a point where we got wrestlers who look like fans being pushed on TV. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, the fact that Eddie Kingston got this triggered about being fat shamed, it's like, dog, if you don't want to be fat shamed, do something about it. Trying to fight people and talk trash about them, that's not helping your cause. That means you are trying to bury the main issue here, which is your appearance. You're trying to mask your appearance with trash talk and fighting, trying to fight Sammy G via a goddamn storyline that he's trying to put over. Wow, man. It's like, damn, man, I must be a god, because I must be in the top 1%. Because why is it this hard for people to want to lift weights? Like, damn, man. Is lifting weights this hard? Is picking up a dumbbell this hard? Is drinking protein shakes some kind of chore? Is doing a push-up this difficult? It's like you want to avoid working out so bad where you want to talk trash about people who are body shaming you. Dog, it's like, if you are being body shamed, do something about it. Right? Nobody can fat shame me. Nobody can body shame me. You know why? Because I put the work in. No. That's the crazy part about this weird ass, sensitive ass tweet. He said Disco Inferno didn't put the work in. Dude, he's in his 50s. His body looks better than yours. So what work are you not talking about here? You are the guy that's not putting a damn work in. Look, you are a fat slob, bruh. Hell, I think Kevin Owens look better than you, bruh. I think Otis looks better than you. It's like you are a skinny fat guy. Facts. You are a skinny fat guy. Look, man, I understand not everybody has to look like Hulk Hogan. I get that. But don't look like a fat slob that a fan could probably whoop your ass. It's like, what the hell? I swear, man, if I met Kingston, dog, look, let's just say hypothetically, let's say I was signed to AEW as a pro wrestler. Dog, if I had to share the same locker room with Eddie Kingston, I think me and him would be fighting. He seems like a guy that I would punch. He seems like a guy that I would fight. I'm sorry. Maybe that's why Triple H didn't sign him. He seems like a confrontational, sensitive pussy. If me and him shared the same locker room as wrestlers, me and him would be fighting. Because I don't think I would get along with this. I don't think I would get along with this guy. I'm sorry. He seems like a sensitive little pussy that's fake. You supposed to be this thug, right? You supposed to be this thug hoodlum. And you getting triggered by Sammy G. A guy, a kid in his mid-20s who looks like a teeny bopper. You got triggered by him? A wrestling promo? You want to fight him off of a fake wrestling promo? It's like, what? It's like, dog, just admit it. You are out of shape. You don't look good. Who cares about being body shamed? Just look, imagine wrestlers crying about being body shamed. That's that crap that the Undertaker is talking about. That's that crap that Batista was talking about. Where are the real men at it? That's all. That's why the smart marks hate Batista. Because he hates people who looks like them. Hell, I do too. But it's like, man, is lifting weights this difficult? I don't get it. It's like, to me, when I go to the gym, it's fun. I love going to the gym. I love being around hot women. I love being around people. I love showing off my body. I love showing off my hard work that I put into my body. It's like, I don't get it, man. You never hear these sensitive stories in the WWF. You got CM Punk crying about stuff. You got Adam Page crying. You got Eddie Kingston crying. It's crazy, man. What's up with this roster? What's up with this roster? The fact that a jobber like Eddie Kingston, a guy who failed his WWF tryout, you got the nerve to shame Disco Inferno's wrestling career? Come on, y'all. You gotta let that sink in for a second. That's how arrogant and freaking egotistical this guy is ever since he signed with AEW. It's like, dog, how much are you being paid for you to have this big ass head? You think you Hulk Hogan? See, when Hulk Hogan said that Billy Kidman probably can't sell out a grocery store, that was facts. At least Hogan had the rep and the career to say something like that about somebody else. Eddie, you are an indie outlaw jobber. Now, I'm not just saying jobber just to be saying jobber. No, if you have been wrestling on the indies for 20 some years without making an appearance for the WWF, you are a jobber. If you were that guy, Triple H would have assigned you. Triple H would have signed you to NXT, but he didn't. See, and that was back when Triple H was trying to sign every jobber for the goddamn indies, but he didn't sign you. And here you are, years later, 40 years old. You just now getting a big ass head because you got signed to the second biggest company in the world when it comes to pro wrestling. But it took you 20 some years to finally get this chance, right? If it wasn't for AEW, you would still be wrestling in barns. You would still be wrestling in freaking bingo halls and goddamn bars. You ain't no hot commodity to be having this kind of mouth. It's like talking crap on Disco Inferno. I don't get it. It's like, yes, Disco Inferno was not Goldberg. He wasn't Hogan. He wasn't Nash. He wasn't Psycho Sid, right? Okay. All right, by that logic, I guess everybody is a goddamn jobber. Like, dude, not everybody can be a main eventer. You need mid-card guys to sell the show. Disco Inferno did his job when he was in WCW. He did his job. He was a great heel. He got over. I don't get it. He was a champion. Like, it's strange, man. When did this guy get this kind of head on him to talk this reckless? I wouldn't talk this reckless. It's like, dog. Like, okay, I can see maybe like a Daniel Bryan talking crap about Disco Inferno because he has the career to actually back it up. If you ain't got the career to back it up, you gotta keep your mouth shut. Eddie, you are a jobber. Literally, you are a jobber to the stars. You are a jobber to the mid-carders. Literally. You are a poor man's Bray Wyatt. Talk a big game and then get pinned 1, 2, 3. And here you are talking like, oh, yeah, the Big Show used to bully you. It's like, bruh, if the Big Show was in WCW and you were in WCW at the same time, I think Big Show would have farted in your face. You see, when it came to Nash and Scott Hall, that whole WCW locker room, they hated marks. They hated sensitive marks. Those are the guys that they targeted. Eddie, Scott Hall would have targeted you. Kevin Nash would have targeted you, dog. The damn Clique, they would have bullied you. Dog, the goddamn Clique used to bully Bam Bam Bigelow. So just imagine what they would have done to your ass. Based on how sensitive you are in this era, you are lucky. Damn, this dude is 40-some years old. This dude think he's Stone Cold Steve Austin. This dude think he's the king of AEW. It's like, dog, Tony Khan did not want you. Tony Khan had to be convinced by the fans to sign you. You are not a hot commodity. You ain't no star. You are an indie outlaw guy. You are no different than Mance Warner. You got lucky to get hired. I'm done.